I guess I would think about what do they mean by economics and distribution. So the economics is like how music makes money or doesn't make money, and distribution is how it's circulated. So for that reason, I think um, economics and distribution are affected by electronic recording systems because once you can make note for note recordings, you can distribute them differently, you can sell them. The internet, because that's a medium for distribution, for sending digital information, um, and the ability to download music. That is, people can bring things from the internet. I think, but this is based on the this stimulus paragraph or video, is it? So I see them talking about that in the second sentence. New technologies can alter the sound of music, and in the case of electronic recording systems, affect the economics and distribution of music. So I think the whole thing is about that. Um, but I think there's a difference that they're setting up there between technological change that can change the sound and technological change that can change distribution, can change how music is accessed and bought and sold. So, because in the next sentence, they say the valve trumpet changed the sound of the orchestra, um, but then they talk about how access has increased and recording. Uh, so it's a bit of a confusing delivery because they're kind of going back and forth between things that change how it sounds and things that change how we listen to it. Does that make sense? It's life, and with the internet, sites to download music from file sharing and so on, we have access to more music than ever before, and a lot of it for free. So access is about distribution, free is about economics. We're not paying as much for it, and we get access to more of it. Um, I mean, I think it changes distribution and it changes the economics. I think you're right that it could mean that some ways that people made money from music are no longer available. Like there's less market um for someone to go and play a guitar on a street corner or something. If anyone can listen to what they want to through their headphones. Potentially, because it's connected at the end there to the idea of it being for free. Yeah, so I think in this paragraph they're treating economics and distribution as that's one concept. The two go together, and then sound is another concept. But I think you could, if you were asking critical questions, you're right. You could pull them apart and say, well, distribution and economics aren't the same thing necessarily. Some things that are about one don't really change the other, and some things that are about the other don't really. Like we might say that once file sharing was created, um, the main economic shift is that they it's not about technology, but about outlawing free file sharing. The second idea, which is about economics and distribution, this is actually, I think what makes this a really hard one is it's not being constructed with a very clear progression between ideas. That's right. And so this is more like how people speak, that their ideas kind of come to them and then they jump in and change their direction, right? It's much more challenging than reading a prepared piece of writing. Mm.